Yo, what's going on, Arkansas Razorback fans? I'm Ty Hudson. On behalf of Hogvillenet YouTube, do me a favor if you guys haven't already, and either after this video or now, it's up to you. Go check out hogville.net and everything that's provided for you there for nothing, not a penny. You don't have to open up your wallet to check out all of our content. It's free, and it's coming from guys like Kevin McPherson, who covers basketball, and with football right around the corner, Dudley Dawson, Otis Kirk have you covered on that front. And of course, Dudley's going to be concentrating on baseball once again this upcoming Razorback baseball season. We've got you covered, and it's free. Not only are we free here on YouTube, but everything over on hogville.net is free. You can go check out the boards, go create an account, go take in what's offered over there. But again, this is all 100% free and coming from the best of the best. So go check it out. Woo pig. You and I have been to both the practices that were open to the media on Friday and Saturday. We got to talk to some players and some coaches. Otis, right out the gate, I guess really we could just start off with, and again, you can keep it short. It's up to you. What are a couple things that have stood out to you so far?
Well, it's hot. I'll say that's what stood out to me more than anything. It's hot as heck out there, man. Just the fact that I like the attitude of the team. I think they're a lot more and when you even 3-7 in the SEC 2 years ago, you hadn't won but one game in 3 years. I'm talking about the SEC game. You went 3, then you move back to 9-4 this past season. I see a level of confidence in the players that I haven't seen in several years. And it goes back kind of like we talked about with the recruiting rankings. I mean, when you win, good things happen, Ty, and more positive things happen, whether it's recruiting ranking, confidence in the players, whatever. And that's it. Winning makes this all much more fun for everybody. I just see a level of confidence in the players and coaches. I don't think they're in the past. I felt like, I'll be honest with you, and I've been to these press conferences in some recent years where I didn't believe a word they were saying. I don't think they believed it, but they were saying that, this was the year they're going to do this and do that. And then they go 2-10. I don't believe they believed it. And I didn't believe a word it was being said, because I was skeptical of all of it, and rightfully so. But I do see a level of confidence in the players and coaches. What we've had one assistant so far, Jimmy Smith, but we've had Sam twice, I guess. I just see a level of confidence from the players, the coaches. I think this program has really taken a turn under Sam, and I think it reflects Sam Pittman, Ty. I think he brought some ideas in here. He hired a great staff. He didn't go short on coordinators. He hired some great coordinators. He's got great coordinators. He's managed to keep them. I think that's important. They've had continuity in their coordinators when maybe in the past that might not happen. I just think I just the confidence is the biggest thing to make it. I know I keep repeating myself, but I just haven't seen that in the past. If I did, it was fake. I don't feel any. I think these kids really believe they're pretty good and they can be good.
I know, and you referenced it earlier, and you're correct about it just being helmets and, regular clothing, or, shirt and shorts. But there have been a couple of players that have stood out a little bit. And one of them being, we'll start off with you and I talked about him yesterday, was Crook.
Man.
He's looking pretty sharp.
Let me tell you something. They lost Grant Morgan, Hayden Henry, and some guys, and those were very good. Well, you don't have 100-something tackles in the SEC and not be good. So, I mean, let's get that out of the way right off. Those kids were very – but you get guys like Drew Sanders in here, Jordan Crook. Man, that kid's a stud. He is going to be big time. Manny Powell, Chris Paul. Chris Paul's hurt right now, but I don't know how seriously, but he was out in street clothes yesterday. But I think when you look at this, Jordan Crook we saw him 2 plays in a row pursue Malik Hornsby on rollouts, and we know how fast Malik Hornsby is.
Yeah.
And this kid did not give any ground. He got Hornsby twice. I'm telling you, man, Jordan Crook is going to be a stud for the University of Arkansas linebacker. Bumper Pool is the holding that thing together right now, coming back and being the leader and being the experienced guy and very talented player. But, boy, guys like Crook make you excited for the future, too. You know, Bumper's from Texas, Drew's from Texas, Jordan Crook's from Texas. I mean, they're getting some very good linebackers from down at the Lone Star State. And, boy, Jordan Crook is one of them. He's got speed, he's smart, he can pursue. And when Manny Powell gets healthy, you're going to see another kid about like him.
Yeah, Manny, who I was really hoping to get a chance to watch him last year at Fayetteville, and of course he got injured, and the only game I was able to make, which was the end of the year when they played Harbor, he was on crutches. I mean, obviously at that point we knew he was hurt, but it was pretty serious when you got to sit out the majority of the year like he did. But yeah, you're right. I'm looking forward to him as well. The other individual who's had at least made a really big play was Jaden Wilson, who caught a ball from it was a bomb from Malik Hornsby.
Yeah, I tell you what. Wilson's a kid. He and Bryce Stevens and Keytron Jackson came in that same class at receiver. Keytron last year caught 5 passes. Bryce, I think, caught 3 for like 5 yards or something. You know, he didn't get out there, and it was more of a toss in the back out here in the slot. And then Jaden redshirted, and Bryce redshirted, but he played enough to get in 4 games. Those kids, all 3, need to make a big move. And consistency has been the problem with all 3 of those. And that's understandable. They were true freshmen last year. Arkansas had guys like Davion Moore, Tyson Morris, Traylon Burks. They had older players ahead of them. But this is their time to step up. And Wilson looked like, I mean, that's the first time I've really seen Wilson in the time we get to see him. And this counts last year and the spring. Be a home run threat like that. That was an impressive play there, and he really looked good out there. And if he and Keytron and Bryce can all come together, that will help that receiver. We had a question earlier about the receiver room. Well, they need those kids to step up. They've been here a year, so you want them to step up, and then you need the 2, obviously Jaden Hazelwood. And when I say something about Jaden, maybe not being he will tell you he's not a Traylon Burks. But when you're the leading receiver at OU with 39 receptions, you lead their Sooners in touchdown catches with 6. You're a long ways from being a bad player. You're a dang good player when you do that, and that's what Jaden Hazelwood did. So I just don't want people to go out here and think, well, he's a 5-star. He's going to be better than Traylon Burks. You're setting yourself up to be disappointed if you do that with a lot of players. Not just Jaden Hazelwood, but a lot of players. You're setting yourself up to be disappointed. Traylon Burks was a great player. I don't care if he was a 1-star or 10-star. He was a great one. And but Jaden Hazelwood and Matt Landers really need to step up out there. But Jaden Wilson and some of those kids, they need to come on too, Ty, because you know yourself, you got to have more than 2 or 3 receivers. They need 6 or 7 that they can count on consistently. And some of that group between Keytron, Jaden, and Bryce need to be including that 6 or 7 top 6 or 7 receivers.
What, and we can make this the final question because we still got one more practice to go. By the way, we are recording this. We started at 10:30 this Sunday morning on the 7th. We still got one more practice to go to today. Well, we've actually got several more to go to, but we're recording this early Sunday morning.
We've got another one today. And you're right. We're just talking about the first 2 practices today.
Yeah, just no full pads yet. That'll be Thursday when they go full pads. I wanted to ask you really quick. Sam Pittman said the other day that they were deep at tight end, but you kind of go down the list, and I get what he's saying. I think he mentioned Hudson Henry being maybe behind Trey Knox, and then Nathan Bax behind him. But
and then Tyrus was at 4th.
Yeah. Which is, I think he's actually kind of stood out a little bit for the staff. But Aaron Outley, he mentioned Aaron Outley. What is your overall takeaway from the tight ends this year? Do you think they're in really good shape? Maybe you think they're going to be okay? And then also, what's your takeaway on Aaron Outley? His film, I'm not going to lie to you. That was some of the best tight end, his junior season. That film was pretty exciting to watch.
Colleges agreed with you. They offered him, Ty. And he was, just for people who have forgotten about this stuff, Aaron Outley was the first in-state kid that Sam Pittman offered when he got this job. So, I mean, it's not like Outley was a butt. I mean, some kid come on and now we're all trying to build him up. No, he got hurt pretty seriously. He hurt that knee. Knee put on a lot of weight and didn't come in shape last year. He's got some work to do, but there's still time to do it. I mean, we're talking about a redshirt freshman, so we don't want to. But as far as the tight end room, I think there's Trey Knox, and then there's some question marks. I'm not ready to call it a great room. Yeah. It goes back to what we've talked about with some other things, and even with the season. If all things fall in place, it could be. Can Hudson Henry stay healthy? Can he be as good as there was people told me, people around him that knew him and coached him said he was better than Hunter. We haven't seen that. He's good, but can he stay healthy? Can he stay in there? He bailed out a little bit of the practice Friday. So, I mean, Bax was a former walk-on that came here. Tyrus Washington, I tell you what, he's had the best catch of all the tight ends so far. I saw him Friday and I should have mentioned this when you asked who I've been. I saw Tyrus Washington, and I don't remember who the quarterback was. I don't know if it was KJ Malik or if it was Fortin, but somebody threw a pass, and he made a one-handed catch of it. He went up and made a catch on the sidelines, a one-handed snag, came down with it. No, I'll tell you what it was. I know what it was. Dow Loggins was throwing to those tight ends. That's what it was. It wasn't a team drill. It was individuals, and Dow was throwing. And he was hitting people, but he threw a pass that was pretty high to Tyrus and off a little bit. Tyrus went up with one hand, right hand, grabbed the thing, come down with it, stayed in bounds, and made a heck of a snag. I'm telling you, that was as good a catch as I've seen over there. Now, it wasn't 75 yards like Jaden Wilson, but I'm going to tell you, that was one heck of a catch. And I've heard Tyrus has really put on some weight. I tell you what, those guys ahead of him, outside of Bax better play well, because if he don't, Tyrus could push him. I'm telling you, man, he is good. He is going to be a player for them. But I still think there's a lot of question marks on the tight end room, Ty. Coach is probably higher on it right now than I am. And hey, he sees them and he knows them a lot better than I. Coach Pittman's forgotten more about the tight end room than I'll ever know. So you take his word for it, not mine. But I've got to give you my opinion. And right now, I'm taking a wait and see on the tight ends beyond Knox. Not on Hudson if he stays healthy. He's just got to stay healthy. And he's had an issue doing that. It's kind of like I talked about somebody earlier about he's had issues staying healthy. Well, I mean, if they're not on the field, they can be Darren McFadden, but if they're standing on the sideline hurt, it doesn't help you any. So that's my point with some of these kids, and Hudson's one of them. I'm not doubting his talent. I just want to see him stay healthy and be available each game, because if you're not available, you're not helping the team.
They have 9 tight ends on their roster, but that's what a lot of schools do. They stack up at tight end.
And they've got 3 more studs coming in next year in the class too. Now, I mean, obviously Trey Knox will be in the NFL after this year, but
outside of Trey Knox, all of these tight ends could come back next year.
Yeah.
Every single one of them outside of Knox. And even Knox could come back because he has a COVID year, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, he could. I just don't think that's going to happen. I think I think Trey Knox, and by the way, I'm going to write about him today we're getting the tight ends and the tight ends coach after practice. And I'm going to have a story on Trey Knox, much like I did Rocket Sanders. But I'm going to tell you, I think Trey Knox is going to have a great year. I mean, heck, he was I believe, if I'm not, and I've written this a million times, I'm almost certain he was the number 2 receiver coming back. The number 1 receiver coming back. I think he caught more passes. You had Traylon Burks, then you had Tyson Morris. Then I think Trey Knox was 3rd. And then Warren Thompson was just behind him, But of the receivers coming back, Warren Thompson has the most catches, but Trey Knox has more catches returning from last year than anyone. And, I asked KJ Friday, you were there. I asked KJ about his confidence in Knox during the 2-minute drill. And I'm not talking about the 2-minute drill on practice. We don't get to see that. I'm talking about in the games last year. At the end of the games, there was a lot of times when Arkansas needed to move down the field to try to win the game, some of these close games. And, boy, he found Knox time after time. He feels so comfortable throwing to Knox. And I think that's a credit to Knox. It's a credit to KJ, but he has to have KJ's confidence for KJ to look for him that much. And I think that's a credit to Knox. And I think it's worth pointing out about that.
Knox a year ago had 20 catches, 141 yards. That's 7 yards per reception. His longest reception was 16 yards, and he had a single touchdown. Of course, we know, he didn't start the year off playing the tight end position.
Yeah, I think Warren Thompson may have had 19 or something like that. I believe.
Yeah, he had 19.
Okay, yep. Like I said, I've written this so many times, I almost have this stuff memorized. But I was thinking Trey Knox is the leading receiver coming back, but he's a tight end now. And as you said, he caught some of those at wide receiver last year. But he was a possession guy, whether he was at receiver, tight end, and they're going to flex him out some. They're going to use him out there wide out. So, I mean, it'd be crazy not to. This kid's a mismatch for these defensive backs. He's a big – and really now he's a big mismatch. He's put on some side. He's got good hands. And, he went through a struggle year before last, I believe it was, when he struggled so much and they lost confidence in him. But, boy, he came back last year. Now Pittman has confidence in him. KJ has confidence in him. I think I'm sure Dow Loggins has confidence in him. We'll hear that today, but I'm sure Dow does. Kendall Briles, all of them, I think, have confidence in Trey. And that's a credit to Trey. Because there were so many rumors he would hit the transfer portal and go to Arkansas State or somewhere. I mean, boy, that was a hot rumor. And when kids like KJ Jefferson sit behind 2 transfer years of quarterbacks, Hicks, Starkle, Felipe, Sponge, learn stuff. Knox doesn't take the easy way out and hit the portal and go somewhere else. They stay. My respect for them goes up tremendously. And that's why I will argue with anybody about KJ Jefferson. And Trey Knox is getting in that same deal because these kids that stay and fight through not that KJ had to fight through it. He was a young quarterback, but I just know at quarterback position, I know if he sat behind Stark on Hicks, and then the next year he sits behind Franks. And what happens with one game that Franks is injured and can't play? KJ comes in and leads them to the most points they scored all year against Missouri at Missouri. He not only did he stay with the right attitude, he stayed ready to play, Ty. And, boy, that speaks volumes for a kid, especially I just know how quick quarterbacks hit the portal. And KJ did not hit the portal, and I will always respect the heck out of that kid.
Yeah, and I've said before, he is I'm probably not rooting for anybody harder this year than I am Trey Knox. I really want him to – and of course, we want them all to be successful. Absolutely.
Oh, exactly.
We're cheering for them all, but Trey Knox, I just have so much respect for him.
When they overcome adversity, whatever it was, whether it was on them, on the team, on the coaches, on the players, on the team, whatever the reasons, I don't care about that. It's just so easy in this day and age. When adversity hits, you want to quit or you want to transfer, And when kids don't and they fight, I think it makes a better man for them when you learn to fight through adversity. Because, look, man, I mean, it's kind of like changing jobs. You know the BS with the job you have, no matter what it is. You go to another job, you don't know what that be. You don't know what it is, but you know there's BS on that new job. I can assure you there is. I'm an old man. I've worked at different places. And I can assure you, every job has a bunch of BS. So if you know what it is, you're going into it. But you know what it is at Arkansas. You know what the adversity was, and you stay with it. That makes my respect level for you go up tremendously, man.
I lied to you a second ago. I said that would be my final question. Something popped into my head when we were talking a little bit ago about KJ just for a second. And again, fully aware, it's just helmets, nothing else. And it's day 2. But KJ Jefferson, and someone asked me this on my live stream not long ago. KJ threw an interception. No, it was Discord. I'm sorry. Someone asked me this in our Discord. He throws an interception to Hudson Clark. What was and I know KJ kind of answered that a little bit, and he was attempting to throw the ball to Hazelwood. Was that just a great play by Hudson Clark? Did you get it? Because I didn't see it happen.
We weren't there. That was during the 2-minute drill after we left, so I don't know. So I don't know.
Okay.
But I do know one thing I will say about KJ. He went through the season last year and only threw 3 or 4 interceptions all season. And a couple of those, one of those I know was a Hail Mary at halftime at Ole Miss. So really didn't. And I think he had 3 during the season, if I'm not mistaken, then had 1 in the bowl game. But I know the 3 during the season, one of them was a Hail Mary at halftime against Ole Miss that they picked off, which was a meaningless interception. I do know if he makes an if he throws an interception, whether it was a great play, a bad read, bad pass, bad run, a bad route by the receiver, KJ will take ownership of it, and he will make dang sure it doesn't happen again.
Yeah, he answered it to a degree, but I was just curious walking out of the media room what that looked like and how that unfolded. It is so early, and he's going to throw more interceptions through camp. I get that. But I kind of wanted to give Hudson Clark a little pat on the back. It sounds like he made a great play. Maybe Hazelwood broke off the route earlier than he should.
I don't know. I didn't know. I don't know. I didn't say he did. I just meant if he did.
Right.
Regardless of the reason, Hudson Clark's a kid that doesn't have the most speed in the world, but he finds ways to get 3 interceptions against Ole Miss 2 years ago. Yeah. He finds interceptions to stay in the playing time, whether he's starting or whether he's in the rotation.
Yeah.
Or just in the rotation. But Hudson Clark, I'll tell you one thing he has, he's very smart. Yeah, he's going to be a lot like KJ in the sense, if he makes a mistake, he's going to learn from it, and you can bet he won't make that same mistake again. He may get burnt simply because he doesn't have the speed that Malik Hornsby had. I saw Malik burn him twice in the spring in one scrimmage, or one practice. I'm sorry, not a scrimmage.
But he does that to everybody.
But he can't run as fast as Malik Hornsby. But I guarantee you, if he makes a mistake, he won't make it the second time. Hudson Moore, he's a very intelligent kid, very intelligent, and he's smart. And that's why I think, not that he's slow, but I just think with his speed and his stuff, he came to Arkansas as a walk-on. And I think the reason he can be successful as a cornerback in the SEC against the best receivers in college football is because he's extremely smart. He doesn't make the same mistakes over and over. He makes plays that probably, in all honesty, he shouldn't be making simply because he's smart and just does it. He's determined.
Hard worker, too. I've always heard that about him. Heard he's a real hard worker. Does what he needs to do to I mean, look, he's
a hard worker. He's a hard worker. He's a real hard worker. He
stayed in that rotation. He's either been the guy or he's been up for he's been
he's in the conversation to be in either the starter or in the rotation. And he's young. I mean, he was young. He was 2 years ago. He was making those interceptions at Ole Miss. We're talking about a young kid that was still a walk-on when he made those. He was still a walk-on when he made those. Now, Sam put him on scholarship after that. But you don't count on a young walk-on. I believe a redshirt freshman, a redshirt freshman walk-on, make 3 interceptions in a game, in an SEC game against a very good Ole Miss team. Ole Miss never lacks in receivers. They had a very good quarterback. We know they had a good quarterback. They don't lack in skill position players at Ole Miss, and he made 3 interceptions that day. Call it luck. You can call it what you want. Don't matter what you call it. It was bottom line. It was a fact. He got 3 passes. I heard people say, "Oh, it's luck." Well, guess what? I mean, the person that won the lottery the other day won them billions. He was lucky. You think he's going to give them billions back because he was lucky? No. Yeah. I mean, who cares about luck? We talked about Gus Malzahn and Auburn winning the national championship, going 14-0 and winning half their games by 8 points or less. Most of them a lot less than that. They were lucky. They threw a pass. Cam Newton throws a pass. Mississippi State quarterback has it, drops it, was going for a touchdown. They don't beat on Mississippi State if he doesn't drop that pass. You got to be lucky to be good in this world, man. Luck has not a big deal if you're lucky. That means you got to be lucky to be good in this world, man, especially in college. In the SEC, KJ Jefferson stayed healthy for the most part for 13 games last year. Arkansas was lucky in that sense, so big deal if they were lucky. So what if Hudson was lucky? He bottom line is he did what he did.
Yep, and luck.
Nobody's gonna apologize for being lucky. If they are, they're making a mistake. Apologize.
Luck favors the prepared, as they say. So, he's definitely that because he's like you said, he's smart and competitive. I think he's pretty competitive too. So, All right, that's gonna do it for
I
for
got
this.
something to say first.
Go ahead.
Here we go on Hogville. I want people to understand. It's not $1 a week, $1 a month. It's free because eventually that $1 a month is going to turn into a full subscription if you go somewhere else. You got to understand, Hogville is free today. It'll be free tomorrow. It'll be free in a month. It'll be free in 6 months. And for a year to get discounted, you don't have to get a discount. At the end of this year, it's going to cost you $0 from now to a year from now. So just keep that in mind when you think about Hogville. You've got Kevin McPherson with basketball. You've got Dudley Dawson with baseball, helping with football, Fearless Friday. You got John James taking pictures. You got Ty, as good as it comes in the video, YouTube stuff. And then, like I said, they carry me and break their backs carrying me along the way in football. But anyway, no, seriously, I mean, just know that this is free. It's going to be free tomorrow. You don't have to worry about your credit card. Remembering when it was supposed to be charged for more. It's free, and it's going to be free tomorrow. It'll be free the next day. It'll be free a month. I'm not taking a shot at anybody. I'm just telling you the facts. This is free, and it's going to be free. And so I just want you to know that. I mean, everybody pumps up their own business, and that's all I'm doing. Some people get offended when they feel like you're taking a shot at their business. I'm not taking a shot at anybody. I'm telling you the facts. It's $0 today. It'll be a $0 a month from now. It'll be a $0 a year from now. And you get the coverage here. I promise you're getting great coverage here.
And don't sell yourself short, Otis. You mentioned all those other names. Don't sell yourself short.
Well, I don't ever want to feel like something's because of me. I'm not that type person. I understand exactly what we're a team here, and I'm proud to be a part of the team. And I work hard. And look, all I try to do is do the best I can each day. I hear people say, "Oh, you're the best," or "You suck," or whatever. Look, man, that's fine. If you say I'm the best, that's your opinion. If you say I suck, that's your opinion. The bottom line is every day I'm going to come out here and give you everything I've got, do the best I can that day, be fair to Lanny, be fair to the readers, be fair to the coaches, be fair to the players, be fair to the coworkers. That's all I try to do every day. And if I do that, Ty, I'm happy. I don't care where somebody ranks me. I could care less. I couldn't care less about that crap. What I do care about is being fair and working my butt off and giving people. Because if I sit here and tell you this is a great product, then I've got to help make it that way, But I just want everybody to know it's because of a teamwork here, and it's because of everybody involved, including. And I know Kevin McPherson gets left out because he's in Little Rock. We don't mean to leave him out when we do this stuff because we're talking about football and Twitter and stuff, but. He covers basketball. He does a good job.
Well, look, we're about to do Kevin and I was going to actually end on that too. Kevin McPherson and I are going to be doing these post-game shows after the Razorback basketball European tour. Really looking forward to that. If you haven't watched Kevin and I, Otis does a great job here with these interviews, but Kevin does as well. So, Kevin McPherson
I think Kevin does better video stuff than I do. I'm much better, I believe.
I think you both do great, man.
I'm just telling you, that's what I don't sit and watch all of it. I don't even watch myself on there, but I'm just saying, I know Kevin is real comfortable and does a great job. And
he does.
But regardless, I mean, he knows the topic basketball. And so if you're a basketball junkie, I've had people message me, but anyway, check out Hogville. You don't have to worry about your credit card being charged or anything. And like I said, it's free today. It'll be free tomorrow. It'll be free next year. So, and I appreciate everybody that does check our network,
Yeah, all free, 100% free. And like Otis said, you've got the biggest and best names in the business doing it all. Hogville.net is it's a good product. We talk about the product on the court, the product on the field. We talk about the Razorbacks and how it needs to be good. Well, Hogville, if you ask me, I don't know that you've got a better staff when you're talking about writers. And also, I'm very fortunate. Like I posted the other day on Twitter, I'm very, very fortunate to be able to do what I do and have my very first opportunity to go watch these guys in person. I wouldn't be here without Lanny, Otis, and all those guys at Hogville. So very appreciative of that.
Lanny took a big step when he hired you. He hired John D. James. He hired Dudley, obviously. Andrew, I mean, Kevin and I have been here for a while, so I mean, we appreciate Lanny doing that. But I think we took another step when he hired you, John, and Dudley. And when Lanny called me and asked me about Dudley, I said, if you can hire him and you don't, if anybody can hire Dudley and don't, they're an idiot. I mean, that's just what. Yeah. You if you can hire him, I don't know if Dudley's interested. At the time, that's what I told Lane. I don't know if he's interested or not. But if you can get him and you don't, you're an idiot, man. I mean, anybody, if somebody fires him, I think they're an idiot. So I mean, that's just my opinion. But and I've never short on opinions. Ty. People like it, some hate it. I don't care. I mean, I've got an opinion on everything, man.
Yeah,
and it's an opinion. That's all it is. Usually it's BS because probably nothing comes through, but that's my opinion.
All right, that's gonna do it. Thanks a lot, Otis. Thanks to you guys who are watching. Make sure you like, share, subscribe, and all that wonderful stuff. And like Otis said, go to hogville.net. It's free, baby. It's all free, and it's there for the taking. Until next time, woo pig suey.